Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by our dear brother. The message that he sent to me reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I have come here on your platform. I am a pastor. I know that there are people that are going to judge me, but you need to learn from my own confession. And as for me, when I am preaching in church, when I am giving a sermon, I always make sure that I tell people that our ancestors, they are demons. The reason as to why I always tell people in my church that our ancestors are demons, it is because I am a ritualist. So I am scared that, us as black people, we are born with some gifts. So there are some people that have the gift of prophecy. But when you are going to church, we make sure that the gift of prophecy will never come out. Otherwise, you will be able to see that your pastor is a ritualist. So in my church, I make sure that I always tell the people that comes to my church that our ancestors, they are dead and they are just demons, because I know that our ancestors, they are for real, because I am using my own ancestors to make money, to make people to love me. So after Bible school, that was when I was taken to this very poor village because of church politics. I could not be deployed in Harare. That was when I was taken to that village. When I was taken to that village, everyone in that village was just poor. I was just a pastor who was leading a very poor church. The people that were said to be rich in that village, they were the ones that were owning some few chickens. There was just poverty everywhere. I then spoke with one of my father's brother who was wealthy, and I spoke with him and I told him that since he was connected to a lot of our church members, he was supposed to speak with them so that I can get a transfer letter so that I can come and lead one of the assemblies in Harare where the money was. So my uncle then said that he wanted to tell me the other side of our church history that we were never taught. My uncle then told me that our church started at a traditional healer's place. The elders of our church, they went to this other traditional healer. When they went there, that was when they were given some powers to pull the crowd so that people can start can start coming to their church. And after my uncle had told me this, I never believed him, and he said that, oh yes, you are going to believe everything in time. So my uncle then spoke with some of the church leaders, and then I got my transfer letter and I started pastoring this other assembly, which was in Harare. So my uncle then told me that it was time for me to get some spiritual powers. We then went to that same traditional healer, but he had since passed away. His sons were the ones that were working as traditional healers. So after I had been given some powers, that was when I returned back to Harare. When I returned back to Harare, then I started to preach and I started to preach. I would wait until it was a big Sunday to perform the big miracles, because after I would have preached, the moment that I'll start praying, what will happen is that the people in church, they will start screaming. Some of them, they will be falling on the ground. The moment that I would raise my hand up, because the power that was given to me, it is in my right hand. So when I'll stretch forth my right hand, then the people, they will start screaming and falling down. So when I started performing all of these miracles, a lot of people, they started to come to my assembly. Then I was given a warning and I was told that I should stop performing all of these miracles. Otherwise, a lot of people, they would keep on coming and I was going to become a very famous pastor. Then I was going to be exposed. So I was supposed to slow down. Then I started slowing down and I started to preach more about the prosperity gospel and preaching against our ancestors, even though my uncle left his togoloshi for me. So this togoloshi, it is in form of a snake. So this snake was the one that was protecting his businesses when he was still alive. When the trucks will be on the road, the snake will be protecting those trucks so that they won't get hijacked. Even the lords won't get hijacked. So after my uncle had passed away, that was when I thought of starting a bus company. I have since started a bus company, and I still use that same topology that my uncle was using when he was still alive. So this snake, what it does is that when the bus is on the road, this snake, it will be traveling in front of the bus so that my buses, they won't be involved in any kind of an accident, and the snake protects my assets and my businesses. And in church, this snake, what it does is that it makes people to be afraid of me, to question me, even if I do anything wrong. I always tell my relatives never to communicate with our ancestors, because the moment that they will start to communicate with our ancestors, then the ancestors will show them everything that I am doing. So I make sure that my relatives hate our ancestors, because they think that our ancestors, they are now demons. That is my own confession. Dear listeners, right, there was a message that was sent to me by our brother right there. We're saying that he is a pastor, but he uses a snake to perform miracles and to protect his buses when they are on the road. Then there is another message that was sent to me by our dear sister. This is the narration of that message that she sent to me. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? So I am a woman who is aged 21 years old. So there is a man that I met last year. So when I met this man, after I had looked at his profile pictures, then I fell in love with this guy. And then we started dating. When we started dating, I then told him that I was a virgin. I had never slept with a man before because I wanted him to love me. But what surprised me is that he seemed not to care about me still being a virgin. Anyway, each and every time when I would go to his place for a sleepover, this guy, he would always avoid me. Yet I was really ready to sleep with this guy. The night that I lost my virginity to him, he then took me to this other house, and at that time I did not know that at the place where we were, it was a traditional healer's house. I only got to know about this the following morning. But what happened the night that I lost my virginity, when we were about to make love, this man, he then took out this other cloth, then he started to wipe my private parts. Even when I told him that we were supposed to use some lubrication, he was supposed to get me wet so that I won't feel so much pain when we were making love. But he kept on wiping me, saying that he wanted me to be dry. After we had made love, this guy then wiped me with that same cloth and he went out, and I don't know where he went to. I waited for him until I fell asleep. Each and every time when I would try to fall asleep, then I'll start to have a lot of spiritual attacks until the guy came. When the guy came, that was when I confronted him and he told me that he was a ritualist. I panicked and I started to cry. He said that I should not cry because he had been searching for a woman like me, and he was happy that he had found me and he was not going to do anything bad to me. The following morning, that was when I saw that we had spent the night at a traditional healer's place and he had used me for his rituals, and he told me that these were rituals to protect me from his own topologies. One day, my husband then told me that we were supposed to go out. Then we started to drive along Blawayo Road. Whilst we were driving, that was when he stopped and we went to this other tree, and he told me that at the place where we were, that is where his wife passed away, and this was a ritual sacrificed that had happened. He told me that he sacrificed his wife, but his kids also passed away in that accident, but it was by mistake. The blood that was needed was the blood of his wife. So I need your advice. This guy has since told me that he is not going to sacrifice me because he loved me. He said that the reason as to why he sacrificed his own wife, it was because she was not a virgin and she had lied to him. So that is why he ended up sacrificing her. And as for me, he said that I am safe. He told me that he has some charms that gives him money. What am I supposed to do? Please assist me. Since last year, I've been trying to fall pregnant for him, but I can't. Please help me out, guys, so that I can make a proper decision. Oh, dear listeners, right, there was a message that was sent to me by our sister right there. She's saying that I am staying with a man who is a rich blesser, but who is a ritualist. Strange things do happen in this world.